Have you ever had a sweet breakfast and, a few hours later, felt hungry again, tired, or had that inexplicable craving for more sugar? This isn't a lack of control. It's your body reacting to something that started minutes after the first bite. Today, you'll see what really happens inside your body in the following 24 hours after a sugary breakfast, and why the strongest effect begins even before lunch. And here's something that can help you right now. If you often experience a drop in energy mid-morning, there's a scientific reason for it, and it starts with what you eat. Because while you think you've gained energy, your body has already started a sequence that almost no one notices, and it all begins in the first few minutes. You wake up, feel hungry, and choose something sweet to start the day. It could be cereal, bread with cream, pancakes, or anything full of sugar. It seems like a normal choice. After all, you just want energy to start the morning well. And really, in the first few minutes, everything seems perfect. Your brain receives a quick message saying, "Energy coming." It's as if someone pressed a happiness button inside you. You become more alert, more cheerful, and even feel like the day will be much more productive. But what almost no one realizes is that, at the same instant this energy appears, your body is already working behind the scenes. Sugar quickly enters the bloodstream, and the body needs to decide what to do with it all. It's as if an entire team starts running to control the situation before it gets out of control. And the most curious thing is that it all happens silently. You don't feel it, you don't see it, but your body has already changed its rhythm. While you finish breakfast, thinking you've gained strength for hours, something even bigger is about to happen. Because in just a few minutes, the sugar will reach its peak in your body. And that's when the real reaction begins, one that almost no one knows about. Now that the sugar has entered your body, something happens very quickly. In less than half an hour, it begins to circulate through your bloodstream like a surge of energy. That's why you feel that peak. It feels like you've truly woken up. You're more energized, and you even think faster. Your brain likes this because sugar is a quick source of fuel. But while you enjoy this good feeling, an emergency team inside your body has already kicked into action. The pancreas notices that there's too much sugar circulating and sends a hormone called insulin to try to regulate everything. Imagine someone trying to control traffic when many cars enter at the same time. That's more or less what happens. Insulin begins to push the sugar into the cells, trying to restore balance. But this process can be too fast. And here's the detail that almost no one knows. When the peak rises quickly, the drop also comes quickly. Without realizing it, your body is leaving the energy phase and moving into a completely different one. And in the next few minutes, the feeling of energy may begin to disappear, giving way to something that many people feel before lunch, but never understand why. After some time, what seemed like infinite energy begins to change. Insulin did its job quickly and removed a good portion of the sugar from the blood. The problem is that sometimes it works too hard. Suddenly, energy levels drop. You start to feel slightly tired. Your concentration decreases, and that strange hunger appears even though not much time has passed since breakfast. Many people think this happens because they slept poorly or because they need more coffee, but in reality, it's the body trying to recover from the rapid rise and fall of blood sugar. It's like going very high on a roller coaster and then falling all at once. The body needs to rebalance itself. At this moment, the brain sends signals asking for something quick to recover energy. And guess what it usually asks for? More sugar. That's why so many people crave something sweet mid-morning. It's not weakness, it's a natural response of the body. But there's an important detail. When this cycle repeats, the body begins to learn this pattern. And without realizing it, you enter a game where the brain begins to influence your choices even before you decide. And that's exactly what we're going to understand now, because the next step happens inside your mind, and it's more powerful than it seems. When your energy levels start to drop, your brain kicks in a very interesting way. It remembers how good that first moment after breakfast felt, when everything seemed easier and you felt more energized. The brain loves quick sensations of pleasure, and sugar is one of the quickest shortcuts to that. That's why even without realizing it, you start thinking about something to eat. A cookie, a sweeter coffee, a quick snack. It seems like your choice, but in reality, your brain is trying to repeat the good feeling you had before. Imagine it saving that memory and now saying, let's do this again. That's why so many people feel the urge to snack mid-morning. It's not just hunger, it's the brain looking for easy energy. And while you believe you're just choosing a snack, something else starts happening inside your body. It realizes that this energy is coming too quickly and begins to create ways to store the excess for later use. It seems intelligent, but this can have silent consequences. And in the next moment, we'll see how the body enters an almost invisible defense mode, something that happens painlessly, without warning, but that changes the way it functions over time. While you go about your day normally, your body begins to act as a large protection system. It realizes it received energy too quickly and needs to decide what to do with the surplus. Some of it is used at that moment, but another part begins to be stored, as if the body were thinking about the future. Imagine a child putting toys away in a box to use later. That's more or less what happens with extra energy. The problem is that when this process is repeated several times, the body starts doing it faster and faster. Furthermore, small internal reactions begin to appear, almost invisible, as if the organism were always trying to keep everything balanced. You don't feel pain, you don't see anything different, but inside there is a constant effort to control the excess sugar. And it is precisely because it is silent that many people don't notice. The body is always trying to adapt to what you eat, but this adaptation comes at a price. The more it gets used to energy spikes, the harder it becomes to return to natural balance. And the most curious thing is that even hours after breakfast, the effect continues to occur. In the next step, we'll discover something surprising. Even when you've forgotten what you ate, your body is still reacting and influencing your choices without you realizing it. It's been a few hours since breakfast. Maybe you're working, studying, or doing other things and don't even remember what you ate earlier. But inside your body, the story isn't over yet. Hormones continue to adjust energy levels, trying to keep everything balanced after that sugar spike. It's as if several small gears are still silently turning. That's why many people feel like eating something again, even without real hunger. The body is seeking stability, trying to avoid another energy crash. And the most curious thing is that this even influences what you choose to eat, because the brain tends to crave quick and easy foods. You think it's just a random craving, but your body is still responding to what happened hours before. This effect shows how a single meal can influence several decisions throughout the day. And while everything seems normal on the outside, inside the metabolism continues to learn from what happened. It begins to record patterns, as if it were noting a routine. And this sets the stage for something even more interesting. When night falls, the body no longer reacts in the same way. In the next step, we'll discover how it creates a kind of memory that can change how you feel about hunger and energy in the following days. When night falls, many people think it's all over. After all, breakfast is long gone, many hours have passed, and the body seems normal. But something interesting is happening behind the scenes. Your metabolism keeps a kind of memory of what happened. Throughout the day, it remembers receiving a large amount of sugar quickly and begins to prepare itself in case it happens again. Imagine the body as a student learning from experience. It observes, records, and creates patterns. If this happens frequently, it begins to expect that energy spike and organizes itself to react faster next time. The result is that hormones can work differently, influencing your hunger and energy levels the next day. You wake up thinking everything is back to normal, but your body has already adapted to what it learned before. And the most curious thing is that this adaptation is silent, without clear signs. That's why many people don't realize when small habits begin to change their internal workings. But there's an even more important point. When this repetition becomes routine, the impact ceases to be merely momentary and begins to build something bigger. And in the next section, we'll reveal what really happens after 24 hours, something that almost no one can see, but that makes all the difference. After 24 hours, something very interesting can be observed. A single sweet breakfast doesn't change your body forever, but it leaves a small sign, like an invisible mark saying, "This happened." The body learns from each experience and tries to adjust for the next time. If this type of meal happens only occasionally, everything returns to balance without major problems. But when it becomes a habit, the story begins to change. The metabolism starts to expect quick energy spikes. The brain continues to crave easy foods, and the cycle repeats itself without you realizing it. It's like always walking the same path. Over time, it becomes marked. The most curious thing is that nobody feels this process happening. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't give a clear warning. That's why so many people believe everything is normal. But the body is constantly trying to adapt to what it receives every day. And this adaptation can influence your energy level, your hunger, and even your choices without you realizing it. And now comes the final question. If a breakfast full of sugar already causes all this, what happens with foods that seem harmless, but act in almost the same way? In the next section, we'll open the door to a new mystery that will change the way you look at what you eat first thing in the morning. After observing everything that happened in your body over the last 24 hours, it becomes easy to understand one thing. It's not just about eating something sweet. It's about how the body reacts, learns, and adapts to each choice we make without realizing it. Sugar enters quickly, energy rises, then falls. The brain craves more, and the metabolism tries to balance everything. It seems like a small, almost invisible cycle, but when it repeats every day, it begins to influence your mood, your hunger, and even your decisions. The most curious thing is that none of this happens in a frightening or immediate way. It's silent, gradual, like a story being written little by little inside you. And that's why understanding what happens is so important. When you know how your body works, it becomes much easier to make smart choices without having to change everything at once. Small changes can completely alter the outcome of this cycle. Now imagine if, in addition to sugar, another essential element that helps the body control energy and digestion is missing, something that almost no one notices when it's absent. But that changes the entire internal reaction. In the next video, we'll discover what happens inside your body when you skip something that should be part of your daily routine. If this content helped you see your breakfast in a new light, please like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us, because the next episode might further change how you understand your own body.